Hi, I'm Ryan, and welcome to my Freelance Journey vlog series where I share my experience in becoming a full time freelancer. Hopefully, it helps you in your own journey. If you do know anyone that would enjoy this series, please send them to the link at the bottom of your screen. So yeah, just a quick little note here about recording schedule. Before I was recording on the last weekend of every month, and that didn't really work out too well. Um, I was really just yeah, I had a lot of other stuff going on, so. I'll only, due to time constraints, I'll only be able to record these videos or videos for this series in particular one during a break week at Flatiron School. So if you're interested in kind of the how that is going, definitely check out my coding bootcamp journey series where I go into a little bit, I go into more detail about how that experience in particular is going. And speaking of Flatiron School, I do have a couple things that I want to talk about. So I've been making a lot of good connections, both with fellow students and with some coaches, and we've really connected well. And again, more feedback that I've got that I'm going on the right path, learning software development, and I'm really excited to see what turns my would take place in my life, just for the fact that they're in my life. I'm sure we can all point to certain people that it's a singularity of sorts in that it's a moment in time after which your life is no longer the same. That your life, like every like a significant portion of like your lifestyle, or what you do, or how you think about things is irrevocably changed, just because that you brought them into your life. And so I'm real interested to see how that progresses. I had a thought before. Oh, and like through this experience, again, I haven't been doing the Flatiron School program for very long, since like mid March, and it's like the first weekend in May. So I one major lesson that I've learned from this is that it doesn't take talent. I might have I now that I think of it, I might have mentioned this on a previous video, but I'm mentioning it here again. That it doesn't take talent. It doesn't take. I mean, you don't have to be pre-wired a certain way in order to grasp software development, especially now with web development really haven't taken off in the last 12 13 years, especially. That it takes persistence, it takes tenacity, it takes vision to kind of see beyond the frustration that's right in front of your face. Because yeah, it is frustrating. You are going to need, I mean, that I think that's just part of learning. I don't think that's specific to software development. So that was an epiphany I had that I've had over the past month, 6 weeks or so. Right now, I'm working on our first portfolio project. I believe we have five of them over the course of the program, and I will post a walkthrough of my of the project. Again, that'll be in the coding bootcamp journey series. So definitely look out for that once it's completed. And one thing I wanted to talk about was it with all of my portfolio projects. I will be releasing them as GPL, which is a general public license. It's open source, so you can use it in your own project, and you can modify it to make it work for your needs. But and there are other permissive licenses. Three of the most common ones being MIT, Apache, and BSD, and those are all fine. But there's one condition in the GPL that really drew me, and that is, let's say you what or some let's say someone else is wants to use one of my projects in their own deal, and they found ways to modify it, to improve it and whatnot. Because it's GPL, any changes that they make have to be contributed back. So if they like figure out new features or what have you, they have to submit it back. I don't necessarily have to take the changes, but they have to submit it. And I think that in and of itself is a major reason a major reason behind the growth of open source software. Mostly because the Linux kernel is released as GPL, and a lot of the software that's built on top of that, like all of the GNU tools that a lot of people depend upon, like the GNU C compiler, and I'm not Emacs and Vim, and list goes on. I a lot of those were a lot of the software that actually runs on top of the Linux kernel is GPL. And I don't think that the open source ecosystem, the Linux ecosystem especially, would have grown to where it is today without the general public license. And I mean, like over 95% of the internet runs on Linux. So that's why I'm deciding to release all of my projects as GPL, because I think it's I'm a big advocate of open source software and hardware. So yeah, that's kind of my way of helping contribute to the community and the ecosystem. So yeah, that's what I wanted to mention. That one thing, over like the past couple weeks, I've been looking at how much time I've been spending on or that I have committed to learning at Flatiron School, and I've committed I've committed more time than they said that I would need to complete to stay on pace. And I've noticed that I've been having to borrow time that I had initially set aside for other activities. So I was working on labs into the weekend, I put a boundary saying, yeah, I will make sure I have everything done by Friday at midnight, and that way I don't have to deal with it over the weekend. And on a couple of occasions, that it didn't work out that way. So I started asking myself, how am I utilizing the time that I've set aside? I mean, am I spending too much time like kvetching over something when I could, just be, pair with the technical coach for 10 to 20 minutes and work through this issue that I'm struggling with. And so I got one another coach suggested a time tracking software that was browser based, and that didn't quite for some reason that didn't quite jive with me. So I started looking for for comparable software, and I found one called Pendulums, and I'll put a link to it in the description below. And it's very easy to use. Switching between tasks takes all of like maybe 10 seconds and 4 clicks, and so it stays out of my way a lot, and just allows me to switch between tasks when I go off for break, or when I'm working on a lab, or or pairing with someone, or whatever the case may be. So I don't know how granular I'm gonna get with it. I'll I don't know how granular I'm gonna get with it, but I haven't. Last week was the first full week that I had using with it, or last full week that I had using it, and it was the first of 2 project weeks, and so my rhythm's a bit off. So I haven't really looked into the results quite yet. I want like a full month of working with it and going through lessons and labs and all that kind of thing, because the project weeks are a bit off as in this context, because there were times when I was spending upwards of 3 days on a single lab, and so I looking at how much time how I'm utilizing my time, and I wasn't really I was doing exactly this much tracking. So I had no idea. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see that, and see look at points where I could kind of refactor things a little bit more and optimize. And so I'm definitely excited to kind of again get some more use with it, and because this would definitely be useful once actually start transitioning into being a freelancer, and knowing, okay, I need to do for this project, I need to do this and this, and using this data over back here, that with pendulums, I know it takes me this long to do this and this and this. Okay, that'll cost blah, 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 blah. however much. So being able to objectively monitor how much time I'm spending on any given task, that will definitely carry beyond the Flatiron School program. So yeah, I'm definitely excited to see what turns out from that. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have for this go around. So I do thank you for watching. If you want to stay up to date, please like and subscribe, and feel free to check out the rest of this series. And if you do have any comments or questions, please post them below, and I'll see you in the next chapter.